Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Too Many Topics. Tonight we got a special, very special guest in the house with us tonight, Cristina Chianese.
Hey Scott, how are you?
Italian name that's sometimes hard for me to say. I'll be honest. It's a tough little tongue twister. You're better known as the Hungry Brunette, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited to hear about that. I'm excited to hear. I know you're in real estate as well.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm excited to hear a little bit about that as well. So without further ado, let's get at it. Well, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure you got many things that you could have did tonight, but you graced us with your presence, so I really appreciate it. What do you think of the place?
I love it. I love what you did.
Yeah,
the color of the couch with the rug, it's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's all Tommy, just so you know. He's not here with us tonight, but I'm going to give him credit. This was all his idea. But we're both very happy to have you on the show. We've been trying to get you for a little while now. I've been following you on Instagram and other platforms. Love what you're doing from the food perspective. So I figured have you on and talk a little real estate, talk a little bit about your passion, and we'll go from there. So I guess the simple question, right, is you have this alter ego, I guess we'll call it, the Hungry Brunette, which is extremely fitting. What inspired you?
I guess it started from when I was younger. I always just loved food. So now I'm just you know what? I feel like I should just be able to tell people, what places have, good food. So that's what inspired it.
I got to assume, just a little bit, that the Italian side of you probably went to that aspect,
definitely.
Right? I grew up in an Italian household, so I know what a Sunday dinner looks like with a bunch of crazy people around the table. I'm a little older than you. We used to flick our ashes in the dish. I don't know if people still do that, but yeah, that was a fun thing that we used to do at my grandparents' house all the time. I'm assuming that you did the same thing, a little cooking with mom?
Yeah, definitely. So my mom and my grandmother, they cook every single day, not one day. There's no such thing as ordering out in my house. My mom cooks every single day, and I don't help her too much, I'm going to be very honest, but I do stand there and watch, and I love to eat her food. So I know what good food tastes like, definitely.
Well, I would assume that you do help her in that part, right? You get rid of the food.
I give her feedback.
And you get rid of the food, right?
Yeah.
Better than throwing it in the garbage.
I make sure there's no leftovers.
Like I said, I grew up in the same type of thing. I remember as a child, me and my sister would stay at my grandmother's. She lived with my aunt. You know, every Italian family, they always have the aunt that stays there as well. Zizzy, we called her, like that. Everybody in Italian calls their aunts. And I just remember a memory of coming downstairs in the morning, and she used to take loaves of bread and just stick it in the sink with milk. I don't even think she put it in a pot. I think she just stuck it right in the sink, and that's how they made their meatballs.
So old school.
And it was great. I mean, the meatballs were good, but it was just a vision that I still, all these years later, can't get out of my head. So I'm sure that you had some sort of a familiar situation over there.
Mm-hmm. My nonna used to stick pizza underneath the couch. No cover, no plastic wrap, nothing. She would take the dough on the pan and stick it under the couch, and me and my sisters would cry. We would be like, Nonna, it's dirty under there. Why would you put that? And she's like, it helps, because she had heated floors. So she said that it helps the dough rise.
Hey, listen,
Who knows?
I'm sure that it
did. It? We don't know.
In my grandparents' house, you couldn't do that because the plastic was actually on the couch. So I don't, if they would have had heated floors, it would have melted.
No, that was my other nonna's house.
Yeah. Every Italian, they all had plastic on the couch. If it wasn't red velvet, it was definitely plastic. Those are the memories I have as a kid. So the name, it's a pretty cool name, right? Very fitting. How'd you come up with it?
So I was at the beach, and I was waiting online, for my food. And I was thinking, why don't I start an account? But, what am I going to call it? So I was I don't know. I thought of a few things, and I was I would never be a blonde, so I don't know.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good.
Just down to the point.
Yeah, when I couldn't believe it when I saw it. You know, I met Christine through real estate. When I found out, obviously, weeks later about this Hungry Brunette, and I just thought it was amazing. It was such a great fitting name.
Thank you.
And, following your posts, I see that you're definitely an adventurous eater. Even though I grew up and my father's side was Italian, my mother's side was Irish, so we were more of the potluck type of deal. But for dinner, it was not so much on the Italian side.
Right.
So me and my sister are not very adventurous eaters. She can't eat anything that comes from the sea. Anything at all. I'm pretty basic myself. Me and my wife fight a lot about that when we go out to dinner because she's pretty much like you. She likes to eat different things and give me a hamburger and I'm happy. So I see that you were an adventurous eater. You know, where did that come from? Was it just from mom's cooking, or is it just something that you've always been that?
I feel like I'm very open to food because from being so young, like my mother has always made it a point that this, like, her house is not a restaurant and you're gonna eat what she makes, whether you think it looks gross, you think it's weird, like whatever. If she put it in front of you, you're eating it, and if you don't, it's breakfast. So yeah, so
strong woman. I need her to come to my house and teach my kids.
Yeah, no, there was no such thing as making a different meal for everybody at the table. It wasn't happening. I guess it came from that, my appetite. And my nonna would make some weird things.
Really?
Yeah, when I was younger. Not weird, but like she would make like rabbit and try and trick us that it was chicken.
Oh.
But we knew. We knew.
She knew it was something different.
Yeah, we knew that wasn't chicken.
Grandma, you left the ear on the plate.
Yeah.
I know, that's definitely not chicken.
Yeah.
That's a rabbit. That's great. So I know you're dating, right? You have a boyfriend for a little while now? 3 years, you said?
Yes, Frank. Yeah, we've been dating 3 years now.
So how is he with this? Does he also enjoy it? He enjoys it.
He loves it. He picks all the restaurants.
That was a question I was going to ask you. Do you like a Yahtzee game? You roll the dice?
See, I'm horrible with decisions. He's like down to the point. Like he picks everything.
Oh, that's a good man.
Yeah, picks everything. He's like, we're going to try this, 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 and this. And I'm down for it all. I don't care. And he's in culinary school now. So,
awesome.
He's learning to be chef.
So you're going to eat for the rest of your life.
Oh, my God. I'm going to be spoiled.
Good for you. They're good for you. Yeah, that's a problem that me and my wife always have. It's like, what do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What do you want? So you got a good one there. When somebody can make decisions like that.
He takes initiative.
Oh, it's so important. You have any favorites? I know obviously Italian food is close to your heart, but if you had a second favorite or a third favorite, where would you go with that?
So I think it changes throughout, like, you know, maybe the season, the month, I don't know, but right now it's Cuban.
Right now? Yeah, I was going to say, it probably changes for you, right?
Yeah, all the time.
And you go to a bunch of different places all the time?
Mm-hmm, yeah. We like the city. And we like Jersey. We really like Gabriella's restaurant in Red Bank.
Sure.
I have to say,
spot.
like, the food there is amazing.
You know,
it's Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Steakhouse.
Plus, it's got a little.
It's our comfort food, yeah.
Honestly, I probably prefer Jersey over Manhattan just because the hecticness of getting in.
There's always a spot to park in.
Manhattan, hands down, I'm sure has much, much better food. I just feel that, like you said, ease of use. I can get to where I got to go right over the bridge. I don't got to worry about traffic, fighting parking spots, fighting $90 to park my car, which is just annoying after a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jersey, I think, starting to swing us away from there. So what is your ultimate goal with this Hungry Brunette? Where do you see yourself going?
So I think my ultimate goal is just to make people try different stuff that they've never tried before. Like, I've had a few friends that have never tried certain types of seafood, and like they're very against like raw like oysters and stuff like that. And once they tried it with me, they loved it. And I like that feeling is so good. Like when you make somebody love something and they go back and they eat and they always tell you like, oh my God, if it wasn't for you, I would have never tried this. That is a great story. Because I bet your friends are happy about that too. Cause I'm the one that would be fighting you tooth and nail. I don't know. It's hard for me to break out of feeling. Yeah, that's actually a really cool thing that you do. You're spreading your love through food, but you're also helping people try to experience it as well, which is really cool. All right, so talk a little bit about real estate. I know that this is something that is probably a passion of yours, and I can see right off the bat, just from that last answer, you're a helper. Like, you enjoy helping people. So I'm sure helping people with not only expanding their palate and their taste buds, but also helping people with the largest investment of their life is probably rewarding as well. Definitely. When people trust you with like their whole life's work and hard work, sweat, tears, like everything, like it's rewarding. I agree, because I think that people take it for granted, what real estate agents do. People's homes is everything that they've ever worked for in their whole life, and they're trusting it with you. Memories, raising kids, sometimes sad stuff happens in houses, right? So it's just basically the culmination of what goes on in a certain period of a person's life. And I'm glad that you take it that way, because I feel a lot of realtors have gotten in the game for the wrong reason. You know, the market's been strong. It was easy to make a couple of bucks, right, the last few years. So sometimes people get into the wrong reason. So it's nice, it's refreshing
to see that consumer experience is important to you, which is cool, which is great. So where do you see that fitting into the Hungry Brunette? Like, is this something that you're going to try to brand? Is this something that you're looking to?
I want to incorporate the two because, listen, like, wherever people move, like, there's always going to be, like they're asking their realtor, like, where do I go eat? Where do I go shop? Where do I wash, like, where do I go to the gym? Where do I wash my clothes? Where do I do this? Like,
and I think everybody, one common fact is everyone loves food. Right?
Everybody.
Well,
you need it to survive.
Right. Not maybe love it, but you need it. So for
Yeah.
that matter, I think that you'll definitely be able to bring a sense of security to people to say not only is this a trustworthy person, but I can look her up on Instagram and I can see she eats all whacked out foods,
Right.
which is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I looked at your page, today before you got here, and you got some crazy stuff that you guys eat. I'll be honest with you, beautiful. I mean, some of these people are artists
Yeah.
on top of everything.
Definitely.
What is Frank's favorite things to cook?
I think he honestly loves to cook steak. Like, he loves to cook a tomahawk, a ribeye, or branzino. That kid makes amazing branzino.
Really?
Yeah, I have to say.
That's like the other end of the spectrum, right? You went from a cow to a fish, and that's pretty cool.
Like, he makes killer steak, but his branzino is so good. And he's amazing.
You guys fight over the plates when they come?
What do you mean, like, in the restaurant?
Yeah, like, I want that, you want that.
No, you know why? Because we split everything. So that's why we always order, like, for probably triple the amount of people. If it's just us two, there's food for 6. Because everything is being split in 2, and we're trying everything.
I was wondering about that, because I know he's a skinny guy, you're a skinny girl. Like, where does all this food go?
Yeah, we eat it all.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Do.
Yeah, sometimes.
We'll sit there for hours, honestly. We'll sit there, we'll talk, like, whatever, we'll hang out, and we just, let's say we get full, like, we're just picking on it, and it goes, yeah.
You guys work together too, right?
Yes, we do. We work at a restaurant on Staten Island called Angelina's.
How long you guys been doing that?
He's been there since he's 14 years old, so he's 21 now, I guess that's 7 years.
Yeah.
And I got there a year ago.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you like that from a service perspective? Because it kind of lends hand in hand with everything else we just talked about.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. He loves it even more. He wants to open his own restaurant, so he loves learning, like, front of the house, and now he's learning back of the house in culinary school, so it's just benefiting him, everything that he's doing.
Yeah, and sometimes it's tough, I guess, working in a restaurant that you live in close by, right? You see people, your friends come in, family members come in.
Right.
Sometimes you want to jump over the bar and sit down with them and eat. That's probably a little frustrating for you.
Yeah,
right?
it really is a spot. You see everybody you know there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's good, like, to know everybody and make connections because, you never know. When you open your own business, people want to come and see what you got to offer.
And I'm sure from a real estate perspective too, right?
Of course.
Everybody wants to learn about real estate. It's a hot topic these days. You're in a great spot. I mean, Vinny and those guys have had great product for a lot of years. You're in the right place, that's for sure, especially if you like good food.
Yeah, thank you.
Right now, where can I find you?
So right now, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok as well. That's slowly building.
Where can I find you on Instagram?
At The Hungry Brunette.
At The Hungry Brunette.
Yes.
And if I was to ask you round number, how many restaurants have you been to in your life?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
I knew I was going to stump her before.
That's a lot. You know why? Because honestly, in the beginning, I wouldn't really keep track because, who's embarrassed? I'm taking a picture of my food. I'm taking a video. My flash is going off. So I wasn't even, like, allowed to take pictures. But now I said, screw it. I'll do whatever I want. And I don't care who looks in the restaurant. If I want to take a freaking flash picture, I will.
That is something that is funny that we could touch on because more and more I see that and it is a little bizarre for me only because I'm a little older than you, so I'm not used to taking pictures of my food, and quite honestly I don't order shit that other people really want to see. I'm gonna be honest. Nobody wants to look at a burger, but I do see it more and more. I went out to dinner last weekend with my wife and a couple of friends, and I seen these 2 grown men older than me. The food came out. As soon as the food came out, the guy put his arms up like to push everybody back, and out came his phone, and I'm like, wow, man, even this generation's doing it.
I have to say.
It's just a takeover.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's funny because, God forbid, you go to a restaurant, there's 10 girls at a table. It takes them 45 minutes to take their pictures first.
Yeah.
I always said, like, don't the food get cold by the time you're done?
I'm always like, guys, nobody touch nothing. Until I get the perfect shot, don't touch nothing.
That's great.
I'll let them sit there and starve until I get my pick.
And they must love you for that.
Yeah, they do.
Well, listen, I'm super excited to follow you. I think that what you're doing is great. I think that it's a little different, right? You're not trying to be a foodie or a food critic, right? I think you're doing it for yourself more than anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe it evolves to that at one point. You ever have a restaurant ask you to come back?
Actually, yes.
I would assume so.
Should I share who it was?
It's completely up to you.
I've had...
I put people on blast all day long. Usually for bad shit. If you want to say something good about somebody.
I feel like at Gabriella's, they've definitely told us to come back and eat. But not, like, because I was taking pictures or anything. We were just all having a good time, like, me and all my friends.
Okay, you sure? Because maybe they thought they were going to hire you as, like, a paparazzi crew to come in.
No, definitely not.
But let's spin that for a second, right? I'm opening up a restaurant here on Staten Island. I'm a brand new person in the area or brand new restaurant. I would want that, right? I would want somebody to come in, promote my place if I have a good product, right? If I have a shitty product, nobody's going to promote it. But I think that's something that, it's that nurturing side that wants to help people. I think that you're doing something you love and you're actually helping people as well. So
it's like putting a spotlight on your local business.
Right, which I think
I think is great because I have so much respect for people that open their own business and like follow like their dreams and like do what they want to do, because not anybody could just do that.
No, and it's not easy. You gotta sometimes grab your, what they say, marbles, right? And especially the restaurant business.
Yeah,
restaurant business, especially in Staten Island, right? There's a lot of them. So I think that it's very, very difficult. You have to have a good product. I think Staten Islanders know how to eat, and they can spot a fake from a mile away, right? So I think I always said that when a lot of people from the island are moving to Jersey, moving to Florida, moving to, I don't know, South Carolina, wherever these spots are. And that was my always biggest fear of moving, because of course I got 2 young kids. I would love the best quality of life for them, best quality of life for me and my wife. But at the end of the day, it's not much that you can't get within a half an hour from here. Right? I always said you can get better Chinese food in Manhattan than you do in China.
Yeah.
That's where we're spoiled. I spoke to somebody today that was down in Florida, and he's just like, the last time I had a good slice of pizza was like 16 years ago. I'm going to start freezing them.
Sucks.
Well, Angelina's can freeze them and send them down.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. That's something that's needed down there. More and more New Yorkers are moving.
Yeah.
But food is something I think that we've been spoiled with up here, and that's why it is difficult to even jump the bridge, right? Even trying to go, I don't know why my audio's going in and out. I apologize for everybody that's listening to this. I think that, again, we're just spoiled, and that's what's difficult to make that jump.
Right.
For me, anyway, my demographic, a lot of people leaving now, but I'm staying. I like the bagels.
I'm staying for right now too. I'd like to go down to Florida. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to go, but for right now, I'm here.
I always said there's nothing better than waking up to the sun. Just every day just makes
it's just a different life.
It just makes you feel better. Life. It just makes you feel better. Today we woke up, it was raining out. You feel shitty. Makes you go inside and cook.
Right.
Eat something. Which isn't a bad thing either. To be honest, I would love to have you back on here and see over the next, where this thing goes. We got any cool restaurants coming up that you're thinking about going to?
Honestly, no, because we're very...
I should have Frank on next time.
Yeah,
he's the one that'll
he'll tell you where we're going.
The restaurants are.
Yeah, it's very spur of the moment. Like, he'll call me up, like, an hour before and be like, get ready, I just made reservations here. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, what am I going to wear? What am I going to do? Like, I'm like, oh my God. But it's fine.
The problems of the world.
Yeah.
What am I going to wear?
I know. I got it pretty good if those are my problems.
Before we go, I do want to touch on one thing, because you did tell me a story the other day, and we didn't really talk about it, but it sounded really interesting, so maybe, the listeners will think it's cool too. You told me you went to a restaurant that was like, almost like an exclusive tasting type of restaurant.
Yes, actually. This was like probably my craziest restaurant experience. It was in Miami. It was called No. It was a very low-key omakase place. So basically, what that means is
I was going to say, you gotta speak English when you're on the show.
Yeah, so the chef will cook right in front of you. Me and Frank were the only 2 in the restaurant.
Wow.
So you have to sit there.
This Frank better not meet my wife, by the way.
So we sat, and the chef, like, cooked. You don't pick anything. He chooses what you're eating that night.
Ugh.
He put the craziest things, like, I'd never eaten before, like snails and, like, all different things. And, like, at first I was like, wait a minute, like, Frank, like, what do I do? Like, I never had a snail at that point.
Am I going to embarrass this chef right in front of everybody?
Yeah, like, I'm like, what, like, and he's like, what are you going to do? You just got to eat it. And I was like, I guess you're right. What is it going to do? Kill me? Like,
You never know.
I ate it, and I have to say, it wasn't bad at all. I would eat it again.
Yeah?
I
Salty?
would eat a snail again. Yes, it was salty.
Yeah.
Well, actually, everything that was on my dish was, like, alive, like, 30 minutes before. So, yeah, that thing was alive.
I guess that's good.
Yeah, that thing was alive. Everything that was on my dish was alive. But it was, like, Japanese food, like, authentic sushi, like, not like the sushi you get, like, from all these corner places here. It was, like, this guy was straight up from over there cooking us the most authentic stuff.
But what was it?
More like Japanese sushi.
So
yeah,
it
was like, yeah.
Sounds very eclectic, so it's
Yeah.
completely out of my palate.
Yeah, I thought it would be too, but I think you would like it if you tried it. I think you would.
I would love to agree with you right
would.
now, but I'm a very, very plain eater, right? I'm not so picky. If, like, you give me something plain, I'm great with it. I'm not one of these people that sends food back and says this or says that.
Yeah, I'll never send a dish back. I'll just deal with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I always feel like when you send it back, something bad's coming back out.
Yes.
I try to be cool with what I got and leave it that way. You brought some pretty cool information to the show. All right, everyone, check her out. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think about her crazy food. And would you eat it? You wouldn't eat it? I don't know. I definitely probably would pass on half of it.
You'll love it.
Yeah, we'll try. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for being here.
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me. I appreciate it.
We'll speak soon. Thank you.